Kinshiko, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use Slack. Now, for those who don't know, Slack is a business communication tool. It's like a chat room for your company where you can keep in touch with each member and know what everyone is doing at a particular point in time. You can pass across information to everyone at once, even if you are not in a physical building. And I think this is a very important or a very useful tool. There is a global pandemic and most countries are on a compulsory lockdown. This means that most businesses will not be able to open. In spite of that, Slack and other similar products have made it possible for us to remain in touch with our team members and ensure that work continues. For you to actually understand how to use Slack, you need to take note of three main features: channels, direct messages, and apps. Channels are conversations that are grouped according to the topic. For example, under the channels on this Slack workspace, yes, when your team creates a Slack account, it's called a workspace. So now under the Slack workspace that I created, Slack How To by Finn, you can see channels here, and under channels we have 5 different channels: announcements, board of directors, ideas, random, and welcome. Each channel has a specific topic that goes on in that channel, and from the name you can already guess what is happening in each channel. Welcome will have to do with introduction, random is for chit chat, maybe ideas is for people to come in and drop their ideas, board of directors is for interaction between the board of directors obviously, and announcements is for announcements. What this does is it makes it more organized. Now every conversation is not just on one timeline and you have to scroll and make sure you've not passed something, or everything is just in one place, everybody is talking at the same time, talking about different things at the same time. No, Slack allows you to organize your conversations into topics. Now, if you notice, 4 of these channels are different from the last one. Well, not the last one, but this board of directors. The board of directors has a padlock in front of it. What this padlock means is only people who are invited into it can view the channel. In fact, if you are not invited into the channel, you will not know that the channel exists. Once you make a channel private, it becomes restricted and only you can invite people into it. But for every other channel that is not private, anyone can join the channel without having to be invited into them. Like these announcements, ideas, random, people can join it without you having to invite them, but you can also still invite them to join the channel. The only difference is there's no restriction on it. So I've already created some interaction on some of the channels so I can explain how interaction works. Let's see this announcement channel, for example. Now, when you post a message in a channel, or when anyone posts a message in a channel, there are different ways you can interact with that particular message. You can interact either by adding a reaction, or by starting a thread under that message, or sharing the message, or saving it like a bookmark, and some other things. Copy the link, edit the message if you are the author of the message, pin it to the channel, set a reminder on the message, and so on. Now, when interacting with a message on a channel, apart from adding reactions, you can also reply to that specific message, and you do that by starting a thread, or if someone else has already started the thread, you reply to the thread. What starting a thread does is it makes the conversation easier to follow. Instead of replying directly to the channel like I did under random, instead of replying directly to the channel, you can reply directly to the message. This makes your conversation easier to follow, because when you reply directly to the channel, someone else might want to say something else that is different from what you are replying to, and this can just disrupt the flow of the conversation. So it's better to either start a thread or reply to a thread if the person has already started it. Now, last one under channels, I think this details button by the right side, top right, will show you more actions that you can take on a particular channel. For example, under this, you can either add someone to the random channel, or look for someone or a message, or call. Although for the call option, you can call up to 15 people. That's a group call, but only if you are using any of the paid plans. You can't call on a free plan. So this is for just paid plans. And there are more options. Your notification options, you can choose to mute the group or channel. You can jump to a particular date, copy the name of the channel, and so on. Now the second feature, which is direct messages, I think that one is self-explanatory. It is for you to interact with one person. It's for when maybe you want to have one-on-one conversations with somebody in your team. Instead of putting the question out there on a channel, you can just send the question directly to the person's direct message. So that one is straightforward. There's no serious explanation on it. Now the third one is apps, and under apps you have different apps. For example, if I click on this app button here, it shows me a list of different products or different apps that like Google Drive, Zoom, Calendar, Simple Poll, I think there's Gmail somewhere, Dropbox, Gmail. Yes, the point behind this is it makes your work in one place. It puts all your activities in one place. So that's basically it for apps. Up here you can see thread. This shows the thread of conversations you've had with other people, and then your mentions and reactions, where people have mentioned you or reacted to something you posted. Then people, this is your contact list, the people in the group, and apps, the apps that have been downloaded to the workspace, files for any file that has been posted on the or added to the workspace. And that's it. Finally, when you click on this arrow facing downwards beside the name of the workspace, it brings up a list of different settings, settings and administration, tools, help, for tips and all of that, signing out, adding a workspace, switching workspaces. Yeah, one thing I noticed was that once you are logged into a particular workspace, you cannot log into another workspace on that same browser. You just switch workspaces from this button here. So that's everything on the general use and knowledge of Slack. Now 2 weeks ago I posted some questions on my Instagram asking people if they knew about Slack, if they use it actively, and the kind of challenges they have using it. Of the thousands of answers that I got, the common angle to the answers was that it was complex or complicated to use. That's why I made this video. I think that is about it. Like I said, you just need to know 3 main things to understand how Slack works: the channels, direct messages, and apps. In fact, once you understand how channels work, you don't really have any problem with Slack. One last thing, if you've been on social media recently, you must have noticed some hashtags that have been trending, some protests and stuff like that. I won't go too much into the details right now or in this video, but I'm just going to say one thing. As individuals, there is a limit to what we can do when it comes to ensuring that justice is served, especially when we are not in positions of power. But as a group, when we join forces together, there is so much more. I believe there is so much more that we can achieve. There is so much more that we can enforce, even if it's just indirectly, just by speaking out together as one. That's why in this video, I have added, in the description rather, I have added some links, some petitions that you can sign, and the link to some organizations that you can donate to, organizations that have been working hard to make things right in certain areas. So please take the time to sign as many petitions as possible, donate as much as you can, and just help humanity in these tiny ways. So thank you for watching up to this point. If you think there's anything I missed, I didn't explain well, let me know in the comments and I'll attend to it. Thank you again, and stay safe, maintain social distancing, do your part in bringing this pandemic to an end.